Hi everyone, my name's Rebecca and we're just about to get started. We're just giving it a couple of more minutes, see if anyone else needs to log in. Anyone that hasn't logged in, obviously not you ladies, we'll be sending out the recording to, but you'll also receive it as well. We do have a lot to go through tonight. I may have got slightly carried away with my Superwoman Syndrome part of myself and have put quite a lot of information into this slide, into this PowerPoint. So if you want to just look in the chat, so if you can see where the chat is on Zoom, where you can write in any information in there, and you might want to put in there how you found out about the webinar tonight. So whether that was through the Natural Medicine Week website, you may be a client, or you may have seen it on Facebook or something like that. So it'd be good for us to sort of find out where you found out about it from. We did have, we've got over 80 people that have registered for the webinar tonight. So, and I'm assuming because a lot of these people are Superwoman Syndrome people themselves, they're probably going to watch it on the recording. And okay, so we'll just get started now. So let's see. So my name's Rebecca Lang. I'm a naturopath and nutritionist. I have a Bachelor of Health Science in Complementary Medicine, advanced diplomas in naturopathy, nutritional medicine, and Western herbal medicine. I'm also back at uni at the moment as well, and I'm doing a grad dip in mental health and neuroscience. I'm the founder of Bargara Beach Holistic Health Centre, which is 4 hours north of Brisbane, which is my naturopathic clinic. So I've had that for 15 years now. And 6 years ago, I opened up Of the Earth Juice Bar and Health Shop. And we also have a 3-day juice cleanse in the health shop where we sell about 1,000 of those a year. They are only something that's only available to pick up in store locally, though. We're not able to get that out around Australia at this point in time, hopefully in the future, though. Okay, so tonight we're talking about Superwoman Syndrome. And I know some people who are on here were at the other webinars we did this week as well, which we did cleansing with juicing, and we also did detox your body, mind and spirit. So you may see some overlap here of some things on detoxing, but it's still important for the people who haven't seen that information before. So if you can just sort of bear with me with that. So Superwoman Syndrome, the term was first created in 1984, and it probably should have been created a lot earlier. It's when a woman neglects herself while trying to make everything perfect for everyone else. Superwoman Syndrome is also about adrenal burnout and adrenal fatigue. Women are juggling careers, family life, managing a household, looking after elderly parents, and much more. So these can be working mums, stay-at-home mums, students, women who have that mindset of doing it all. So even women who are retired are often still, you know, doing everything and running from place to place, maybe even involved in different volunteer things. So, and sometimes even when women retire, they're actually in adrenal burnout then, because they've spent their whole life looking after everybody else. And they're burnt out to that extent that they don't even feel like cooking dinner anymore. And they might just be like, I have toast for dinner because I've spent my whole life cooking for everybody else. So it's about burning the candle at both ends, but sometimes a lot of women, they don't feel like they have any choice. So in history, and this is very brief, but just a couple of points. So it's around 1942 with so many men in the war, that Australian women were finally able to enter the workforce and take over some of the men's roles. And also another interesting point in history was in 1961, when the contraceptive pill was available in Australia. And initially it was only available to married women, and some Catholic doctors refused to prescribe it as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because really when we look at things, this wasn't very long ago. you know, 1942 really isn't that long ago of what has changed and developed in that time for women. So financial support for daycare is still relatively new and is still not always available for many people as well, which obviously makes it difficult for women to work. And there's been times past that women, you know, may have worked full time to receive minimal income or minimal profit because majority of it had to pay for the daycare costs. And in 2010, Julia Gillard was the first Australian female Prime Minister. Okay, and also something that I've looked at one stage a few years back was that when women started working is when food quality went down. So it used to be that home cooked beautiful meal every night, and the husband, you know, turned up at 5 o'clock or whatever, and the wife, you know, would have, you know, had a shower and done all her hair and makeup and all dressed up, and, you know, the children are all quiet, and they would have a beautiful cooked meal there. Don't know why this thing keeps showing up on my computer. Or we might move that over here actually. But so what happened then, women soon realized that they had to also do the cooking and cleaning. Like they're working and then they were coming home and suddenly husband hadn't organized anything for dinner. And it was around this time that they started bringing out all the frozen vegetables and frozen meals and quick heat options. And they became very popular for women to go, okay, there's dinner done. So really overall, it hasn't really been that long since women actually entered the workforce. And I believe that women are still trying to find the balance. Okay, now I'm having a little bit of problem here trying to get my page thing.
Just go to the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, I decided to put this in as well, just about domestic violence in Australia. So I was just looking at Australian Bureau of Statistics, so 2023, and they found that 1 in 6 women since the age of 15 had experienced physical sexual violence from a current cohabiting partner. So that's quite alarming results to see that. So 1 in 6 women have experienced economic abuse, 1 in 4 have experienced partner emotional abuse, 1 in 5 have experienced sexual violence. First Nation women, as well as women from migrant and refugee communities, experience even higher levels than this. And these numbers could possibly be much higher here in Australia than what we have, what these statistics are. And we know that they're much higher in other countries. So that's quite concerning as well. And, you know, and this is where women are also trying to, you know, develop that independence, financial independence, because, you know, some women are in that situation where they don't have a choice, or they feel like they don't have a lot of options because they don't have their own financial independence or their own superannuation or how they're going to support the children. And so that's where it is important that women do find their own way of earning an income. But, you know, there is a lot more available support in Australia now for domestic violence or people in those situations than what there has been in the past. So a lot of, I know, like my mum's age group and women before that, there really wasn't a lot of options for them, where now there is a lot more choices to a certain extent and a lot more support out there as well. I know some of the domestic violence shelters even help to pay for, organise for people's pets to go into care as well. So how, as women, can we change this? Well, this probably didn't really answer exactly that question. I mean, we would all like to be able to change this, but another statistic I came up with was, this was based on 2022 Australian Bureau of Statistics, showed that there was 127,000 marriages that year, and 49, nearly 50,000 divorces in that actual year. So, and in 2021, there was actually 56,244 divorces, which was the highest number since 1976, which is kind of interesting as well. And also approximately 44% of marriages in Australia end in divorce, which is quite shocking, really. Many women are juggling family life, whether they're working as a single mother or not. For some, being a single parent may even be easier for them than being in a domestic violence situation or unhappy or unhelpful marriage. So, you know, when we look at those statistics of divorce, we can see there's probably a lot of women out there who are juggling children and working and running a household as well. So, because the world, I'm telling you all of these parts about the domestic violence and what's happening with women and the history, because the world needs women. We need women to help other women throughout the world and help to continue to improve quality of life for women now, and all the women and our sisters and children and in our community, but also for the future generations of women, like the women before us have done for us now. In 2009, at the Vancouver Peace Summit, the Dalai Lama said the world will be saved by the Western woman. So what we're seeing, though, is that women are just burning themselves out. They're trying to do everything. And what we're going to look at is understanding the importance of regular detoxification and clearing out our cells to reduce the risk of disease and aging quickly, and the need to connect and have more time connecting with other women so we can talk about making positive changes for the future. So the symptoms of Superwoman Syndrome. So the first sign is usually crashing at 2 p.m. So you could be at work or you could be at Bunnings and the ground is looking good for a rest. So for a lot of women as well, it's waking up, getting organised, and by 9 a.m. they feel like they could just go back to bed, and then they just have to keep going. And then after lunch they crash again, but then they keep going. But by 2 o'clock, it's when there's nothing left to give anyone. And that's usually when they reach for like sugar or chocolate, something just to get them through. And that pushes them through until about around 6 o'clock, where they suddenly go, oh no, I have to cook dinner for everybody. And that's around the time as well, just to kind of give them the energy to get through cooking dinner or get through the evening of organising the family, that they will either eat unhealthy food or reach for a glass of wine or alcohol to get them through. And then by 9 p.m. they'll either be in bed asleep out cold, or they suddenly wake up and they feel better at 9 o'clock at night than they have all day. And this is because the cortisol's gone out of whack. And then they can't go to bed early, like they're sort of awake, everyone else is asleep. And that's also a little bit of a gap in time for themselves, just have a moment there for themselves. And then they wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, hot, wide awake, and struggle to go back to sleep. They wake up in the morning and the cycle starts all over again. So other symptoms of Superwoman Syndrome is feeling irritable and tired, insomnia or excessive sleep, if you have the option to have more sleep, memory issues and brain fog, finding it hard to learn new programs and concentrate, muscle tension, headaches, muscle cramps, anxiety, low mood, waking up and hating the world, sweating and feeling hot, general aches and pains, increases in alcohol, chocolate or carbs, social anxiety. So that's when you just feel like on the weekends or where you just don't even want to leave the house, feeling highly stressed, and having road rage. I put this here because I've spoken to clients about this before. So pushing your trolley in the supermarket because you have 15 minutes to do the whole week's groceries, and feeling road rage while you're doing it because you might have someone in front of you that's a little bit slower and you're getting frustrated. So it's time to take the cape off the Superwoman. So adrenal burnout and adrenal fatigue can allow for depression to creep in. To an extent, when that creeps in and takes over, you can be past the point of like thinking yourself out of it, like thinking positive and changing your mindset, it can come in and become a chemical imbalance. And that's when you can get to that real adrenal burnout. And I also had a look at some statistics with this, and 1 in 4 women in Australia are actually on antidepressants. And actually 1 in 7 Australians are on antidepressants. So it was noted in this study I was looking at that, there was more women than men. So just by, so be 1 in 4 women, 1 in 3 men, or 1 in 7 Australians, and 4 of them would be women. And so that's, quite alarming as well. And it's definitely not that I'm saying for anyone to come off their antidepressants, because that's something that needs to be done very carefully under your doctor's advice. But that's where we are now. So where are things going to be in another 10 years or 20 years time? Adrenal burnout can also lead to hormonal imbalances where your progesterone will convert to the stress hormone cortisol, and this can show up as irregular periods or longer periods, acne, weight gain. Low progesterone also leads to low mood. It also leads to a high risk of osteoporosis. And that low mood that women can experience from it won't be just before you get your period. It can be usually around mid-cycle. So it's not always picked up straight away, where that's coming from. So it's not only time to take the cape off, but also the high heels. So I'm really liking, and I'm still trying to embrace a little bit myself, but the latest fashion with these young people, and they'll be all dressed up in some nice dress and they've got these white sand shoes on. And I'm like, these younger ones haven't worked out. So, why put our bodies under any extra physical stress than we need to? So it might be time to get rid of those high heels and put some comfortable shoes on. So before looking at solutions, we're also going to take a look at the signs of needing to detox, as this all goes in together for women. 1 in 5 adults in Australia consuming more than 10 standard drinks, this, say, for example, in the last week. And of those people, 70% of them consumed more than 14 standard drinks, and 66.8% of them were female. So there can be an area of grey area drinking, which is when you're drinking over the safe levels but still functioning, and it doesn't appear to be a problem to anyone else, but the woman herself can know that they're not functioning at their best, and the alcohol can be slowly creeping up. So signs of needing to detox. There are many signs of needing to detox, including headaches and migraines, skin rashes, itchy skin, redness of skin, skin blotches, acne and breakouts, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, constipation and loose bowels, IBS, waking up tired, feeling fatigue, waking up at 3 a.m, crashing at 2, alcohol use creeping up and craving sugar and carbs, brain fog and memory issues. And we should probably add in there weight gain as well. So we've discussed in previous webinars that oxidative stress is when your free radicals or toxins are higher than your antioxidants that clear them from the body. So in my clinic, we have TGA approved scientific equipment that tests for oxidative stress in blood. And we've done thousands of tests. And what we've found in that time is particularly women, majority of women that we check are in toxic stress, so in oxidative stress. This is physical stress within your cells, not just mental stress. And this puts people at a high risk of disease and aging quickly. It means that there's too many unstable molecules called free radicals in the body and not enough antioxidants to get rid of them. The free radicals then break down cell tissues and cause DNA damage, which results in inflammation. And these factors can lead to lifelong diseases, including diabetes or cancer. It's now known that inflammation causes obesity, and it also increases pain. So some research I was looking at indicated that men are more likely to be in oxidative stress than women. I have to have another look at that study because I'm sure it must be old. But in my clinic over the years, we've found that it's women that we're seeing in toxic stress. And, you know, we do know that women's bodies store more fat and there could be more toxins stored in women's bodies are designed to hold fat, and we know that toxins are stored in the fat cells. So there could be that part of it. But we also know that most women are running on this Superwoman syndrome. They're running from place to place, kids here, go non-stop. And women's bodies are not designed to do that. So women's bodies, like the men, I always say caveman times, the man was the hunter and the woman was the gatherer and also the nurturer. So we're sort of got to come back to some type of balance and within ourselves as women, and not be in that trying to live the way that men live. So and part of that I'll go into after, I think is about working smarter, not harder. So reversing oxidative stress is through healthy lifestyle changes, removing processed food and sugar, which depletes nutrients, removing or reducing white flour products, and increasing nutrient-rich foods like those high in antioxidants, fruit, vegetables, nuts and seeds and herbs, fresh air, purified water, increasing exercise without burning yourself out even more, cold pressed juices, and just trying to find ways to find that balance in your life, which may also include having regular naps. It might be on the weekend that you say, right, it's okay for me to have a little rest on a Saturday afternoon. So exercise improves oxidative stress and helps with detoxification, and scientific evidence shows this. It helps support oxygen into our cells. The legs are the biggest muscle, so riding bikes, walking, running will help with increasing oxygen. And the Australian Institute of Sport was testing for oxidative stress as well, because you can overdo it, but you basically have to be a marathon runner to be overdoing it and putting your body in oxidative stress. But I did have a client in this afternoon who we've seen a big change in her oxidative stress, and we hadn't actually done too much in the last few months about it. But what had happened is that she suddenly increased her exercise with her legs. So she had put on a few kilos of muscle. She'd lost some fat, and but it's all been about her legs. And she's just one of those women that loves doing all the squats and the leg work. So she's got very strong legs for it. And I believe we've discussed it, and I said, I think this is what's actually really helped to reverse your oxidative stress. So herbs and supplements reduce oxidative stress and support the adrenals. Herbs and nutrients will help to support and nourish the liver, particularly ones we're looking at things that also support phase 2 detoxification. So they're pushing toxins out of the liver. Excuse me. Herbs such as milk thistle, dandelion, like those ones will support and nourish the liver. Turmeric and rosemary will help support phase 2. And then you have other vitamins such as vitamin C, which also support the adrenals as well as the liver. Vitamin E, beta-carotene, coenzyme Q10, which are all antioxidants, and coenzyme Q10 will help to put oxygen into the cells, which also helps increase energy. Ashwagandha, which is how the public seem to know it, but we call it withania, is great for the adrenals and also helps to teach your body to build its own iron. Ginsengs, licorice, and romania, all herbs support and nourish the adrenals. For adrenal support, a really good multivitamin with active B vitamins and herbs to support the hormones is kind of essential as well when you're really pushing yourself. So you do need to have that. Those B vitamins will help to reduce the stress response and help to increase energy. Other lifestyle factors to reduce oxidative stress and improve the adrenals. So it's always good to be alkalizing the body, but not over alkalizing it. So using greens, powders, and vegetable juices, quitting smoking and reducing alcohol or quitting alcohol. Having regular nanny naps when you can and learning how to rest is very important. And you shouldn't feel like if you have to do that for a while, don't feel like, oh, this is my life and I'm going to have to do this forever now. It's just that you are resting yourself and you're trying to recoup some energy. Sometimes you have to go through a stage where you do that for 6 months, where you're just trying to get regular rest in, preferably around 1 o'clock if you had a choice. And, you know, whether that may only be on the weekends, you can do that. And if you can't sleep or have the time, if you can lay flat, that will help to rest the adrenal glands. And this is how you help to restore your energy to bring it back. And then one day you'll just feel like you don't need to have that rest and you're okay. So wearing comfortable clothes and shoes and not putting the body under any additional unnecessary stress, using infrared saunas to remove toxins, lymphatic drainage massage, and as I was saying, learning to work smarter and not harder. And a lot of these, you know, women are having online businesses, working from home. I think that's great. Some of the influencers out there might be overdoing it a little bit themselves, but trying to find other like creative ways and using the women's essence, the creative essence of finding other ways to work and work smarter. So you're not necessarily doing more hours. You could be doing less hours, but you're doing things a bit differently than what has maybe been done before. So with reversing oxidative stress, that will take working with supplements and a healthy eating program. You'll see results within 21 days or just after 21 days. That's based on my research that I've done in my clinic over these years, and we've tested people before and after with our equipment. It also takes 21 days to change your habit. So it's a good way to give your body a chance and have a break from putting toxins in. And then the challenge is to maintain that healthy lifestyle. So doing regular detox, maybe every 3 to 6 months as well, to keep yourself out of oxidative stress. With adrenals, when someone's already in that burnout phase, it can take 6 months of really working with herbs and nourishing the adrenals and teaching the person to down-regulate to be able to rest, to hand over cooking or anything, whatever task they can do, like delegate to anyone else. In my house, my partner, once our kids moved out of home and we'd only been living together a couple of years, but I suddenly realized that he doesn't cook. So, and, you know, I knew he hadn't, but I was just doing the family cooking as you do. And then I went through a stage, and the way I got in cooking is I just stopped cooking, and I just decided I would go out and have a good lunch. And then I just thought I'd rather starve than cook. And he soon started cooking, and now he cooks quite often. So it was just what I had to do, because I thought I'm not going to be this woman that's just going to cook every night for one other person. And so you have to do sometimes. So working with the mindset, so 21 days is a really good way to work with your mindset. So you might just set yourself a task and go, right, for the next 20 days, going to take out everything that's unhealthy for me and just start putting in things that are healthy. You might want to sort of cut back on some extra activities that you don't really have to do, or some, and, you know, we don't want you to isolate yourself, but we do sometimes recommend things such as pajama weekend, where you might decide, well, you watch reruns of some old movies that you've seen before, so they're not suddenly getting your adrenals going, and you just spend the weekend in your pajamas and you down-regulate yourself. And by the time you go back to work on a Monday or start your activities on a Monday, you will feel refreshed. And you might not have to do that very often. That might be something that you just do every 6 months. Many people think they can't do a 21-day detox as well, and they're usually the people that need to do it the most. And I ask people, what would be the hardest part of a detox for you? And, would it be giving up dairy, gluten, sugar, alcohol, caffeine, or sugar-free soft drinks? And everybody has a different answer to that. And some people, as we were saying the other night, it might even, the main thing of all of that, the hardest thing for them could be their Pepsi Max or, some drink like that, that's what they have every night. Or, some people even having like 5 of them a day or something. And so that we help them to be able to let go of that. So yeah, so your life purpose. So, and this is really important with the Superwoman Syndrome. It's and with detoxing, and for women, we want to help you come back to what your life purpose is. And so the spiritual aspect of a detox and resting your adrenals is that you start to feel wellness every day, and you'll be able to have the energy within yourself to start thinking about your life and reflect on why you're choosing to have unhealthy foods and substances, and starting to think, well, is it because you're hungry? Is it because you're tired? Is it because, you're angry or frustrated and you need to speak up about something? So we live in a stressful world, and a lot of people working very long hours, many people burning out and just reaching for that quick fix. But it's important to take time and to have the energy and clearness of mind to be able to think about, what is your highest purpose? Like, is there something deep down inside you that you've always wanted to do but never got around to doing it, or never had the time or energy to do it? So it's about giving yourself the opportunity to bring that through. So meditation. So most people don't meditate, as they say they can't still the mind. And it's normal not to be able to still the mind. So meditation is about practice, like learning the guitar. And you can have results from meditation with just allocating 3 minutes 3 times per day. There is a book about that as well. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name right now, but it was about a girl who just started meditating 3 minutes 3 times a day, and that was it, and how that just changed her life. And it's just about sitting and breathing. So in your mind, you just think, breathe in, breathe out, and your mind will keep wandering off, but you just keep bringing it back to your breath. So ideally with it, you can create just one little spot anywhere in your house, and it could be a cushion that you have, and you might want to just have a certain essential oil or scent that you use, because your body will remember that each time you sit down. As soon as it smells that, it will start to relax. You may have the same piece of music on as well, so that will be another reminder. But it's also, you may find that you don't get a chance to sit anywhere in your house, and the only way you can stop is when you get home and you just sit in your car for an extra 3 minutes and you just sit there and do your breathing. By doing that and increasing you'll have increases in the moments of stillness where you're just focusing on your breath and your mind isn't wandering off. And as you have that, you will start to feel more feelings of inner peace, and everything starts to slow down. With that, and this isn't in the slide, but I will, there is Einstein's theory of time. So we are running on Newton's theory of time. So that's, we look at the clock and that's what the time is. But if you're running out of time and you're, getting ready for work, or you're getting ready to go somewhere, or the whole day is just run, 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 you need to say to yourself, time comes from within me. And this is Einstein's theory of time. So time comes from within me, and you just keep saying that. And when you say that, you'll actually find, if I imagine, because it works for me, that time slows down, and you'll be doing all your things, and you look at the clock and go, oh, I still have another 15 minutes. So if you can remember that and say, time comes from within me, and affirm that to yourself. And you can look that up about Einstein's theory of time. And that's from the book called The Big Leap. It's a business book, and it's, I think it works. So simplifying detoxing and adrenal support. So the goal with detoxing is to reverse oxidative stress and helping toxins leave your body. And in today's society, because we don't live on a mountaintop with fresh air and no stress, we do need support with detoxing. So naturally alkalizing with greens powders, cold pressed juices, increasing all your vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and herbs. Protein is still important. It's about eating clean protein and eating clean overall. So cutting out that processed food, the sugar, the white flour products, alcohol, and smoking. Increasing exercise, but not overdoing it, because I know Superwoman Syndrome people, they're the type of people that are at the gym like 3 days a week, plus working full time, plus. So you don't want to overdo it, but you do want to get some movement in there. And yoga is actually a very good way of calming down the adrenals, especially like yin yoga. Supporting the lymphatic system with infrared saunas, lymphatic drainage massages, and working with a naturopath to access the right supplements for your body. You can have having blood tests done to check for deficiencies, so correcting iron as well. So a lot of women are iron deficient as well. So on top of running around everywhere, they also have they're low on iron, which is putting their adrenals under even more stress. Just on a note with that, with the blood test, cortisol doesn't test very accurately in blood. So if you do speak to your doctor and you get your cortisol checked and it came back all normal, well, you'll be like everyone else I don't even test it in blood anymore. So there is some option of doing saliva testing for adrenals with naturopaths. Other supports for detoxing is using different oils such as hemp oil with nuts and seeds and lemon juice, and helping to detox the cells, using detox herbal teas. And we spoke about the other 2 items. So the feet as well is a good way to work with detoxing the body, and using either detox foot patches. We have 60 of the acupuncture points on the bottom of the feet. And also, as we were saying earlier, being mindful what you put on your feet and on your body as well, just going back to more natural deodorants and mineral makeup and using non-toxic products in your house. And detoxing the home, so just taking out, as we're saying, like any toxic chemicals in the home, like especially if you're the one cleaning the house, like start using non-toxic products. You don't need to be breathing in any extra toxic chemicals in your own home when we've probably got enough of them around us in our environment and even on our foods. So how can we help you with detoxing? We do have Detox in a Box available, which is from our website, detoxinabox.com.au. And I put everything in there that you would need to help support your detoxing. The items I've put in there won't interact with any pharmaceuticals. You know, of course, check if you feel with your doctor, but we've just put items in there that are safe. So they're more food-based items, working with detoxing green powders that are high in nutrients and essential fatty acids. And my detox dukkha, which has got specific organic seeds I had brought in from Egypt, and they've been used in history as anti-venoms and for poisoning. And we have the detox dukkha with hemp oil to help take the therapeutic value of the seeds into the cells, and lemon juice helps that to break down. In the Detox in a Box, we also have my natural healing skin cream, a chakra balancing aromatherapy spray, detox tea, and many other items. Oh, there's the Detox in a Box there. There's our detox dukkha. We also have a 21-day online detox program that will be launching. Will be sent out to you a link for that in an email. So that's all the heap of juice recipes and dietary plan that I've created after 15 years of detoxing my clients. It also will include videos and presentations that will take you into a deep dive of cleansing your body, mind, and spirit. And we will be having another program that will be going out, online program that will be called Superwoman Syndrome as well. We did put this in there about the Curvings cold pressed juices, so that discount has unfortunately ended now, but Curvings is the cold pressed juices that I recommend. So I do telehealth consultations, and you can book an appointment with me at healthandhealing.net.au, and I can help you go over your blood tests, look at different cleansing programs specifically for you. We can look at testing your hormones and adrenals, hormones and adrenals in saliva, and a lot of other different tests that we have access to as well. So we do have a retreat coming up, Detox Your Body, Mind and Spirit, and this is specifically for women. It will be held here in Bargara in Queensland. There'll be 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, and everyone will have their own room. So it's just 3 nights and 4 days. So it will be a Friday, Saturday and Sunday night, because we know for a lot of people it's hard to get away for much longer. And that will include like a naturopathic testing appointment where we'll look at your oxidative stress. We'll be going through all the detox items and trying everything and explaining everything and having light vegan food. So we use these retreats to educate about detoxing and how and do some tests on our participants that are here. But we also use the retreats to talk about having some mindfulness around your adrenals and supporting and nourishing you. And we spend time learning about and reminding ourselves about what our high purpose is as well. And sort of like, it's like a bit of investigating into ourselves, because a lot of women spend a lot of time crying at the retreats as well, because it's the first time that they've ever had the opportunity to even think about themselves. So there's some pictures of one of our last retreats. And I think we're now at question times, and there's where you can book in with me as well. So we've got the Facebook page, which is also called Bargara Beach Holistic Health Centre. And then you've got the website, and then I'm on Instagram, which I'm still not very good at, but that's at _health and healing. So if you have any questions, we can go through any of those now, and we will be sending out some emails to everybody, and so just check your junk email and spam, because it comes from actually a program that's been created by women, because I'm all about supporting women. And it's a UK program, and that's what I'm using to send the newsletters out on. But if you're a client and you haven't received the newsletter, because it would have gone out, just check in any of your junk or spam files as well. So over the next week, we'll be sending out information. So with the retreat, all the people on the webinars, and we do have a retreat list of people who are on a waiting list, will be notified first with our clients before we are advertising it out to the public. So thank you everybody for listening to all of that. That was probably a lot to take in, maybe, I don't know. I kind of got a bit carried away with some of my slides, but I'm just very passionate about the burnout that I'm seeing with women, and also the toxic stress that women are in, and how that, is affecting them. So I feel like women really need to start putting themselves first and looking after themselves, and men need to support that as well.
Would you mind telling us the name of the book that talked about making more time, Newton versus Einstein theory?
Yeah, so so someone just asked about the book about the Einstein theory. Now,
Big Leap or something?
Yeah,
did you
it's
say?
called, oh yeah, so The Big Leap, and it's by, can you just can't remember his surname off the top of my head. I can quickly Google it. I talk about this, I've read it a few times, this book. Gay Hendricks or something, The Big Leap.
Gay Hendricks.
Yeah, Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap. So it's quite an interesting book, and it's sort of more of a business book, but it's when things can sometimes go down before they go really forward as well. And it's about sort of trusting the process. I probably need to listen to it again. It's just such a brilliant book. And it's somewhere in that book that I remember he spoke about Einstein's theory of time. And I've just always remembered it. And I tell a lot of my Superwoman Syndrome clients about it as well, as a way of trying to slow things down, because, you know, it's just push sometimes all day, all night, and then they're just exhausted. And then the next day they're getting up doing it again. So Einstein's theory of time, where we run on Newton's theory of time, where time is outside of ourselves. So it's bringing it all back within. And any other questions? No? Okay, we'll stay on here for a couple of more minutes and to see if anyone else, you know, if you have any questions about anything, I'm happy to answer them while I'm here with you. This is my last webinar for the week. So I did 3, and this was my first year as for Natural Medicine Week as being an ambassador. Natural Medicine Week has been created by Australian Traditional Medicine Society, which is an association for naturopaths and health therapists. And I'm a director of Australian Traditional Medicine Society, and I was the vice president for the last 2 years. And this year I'm the treasurer of Australian Traditional Medicine Society. So, and it's great that, you know, they organise this, and on the website for Natural Medicine Week, you will find there's about 15 of my recipes are on there, which I use in my juice bar. So they're all gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. And there's also a blog that I did on there, which is about blood pathology and what to consider with that, and about interpreting some of those results. Right. Anything else? Okay. So, all right. Well, we don't have any other questions. So just want to thank everyone so much for being here tonight, and just look out for your emails, and you can also go to healthandhealing.net.au, and just you can submit a form on there. You can just say, I'm interested in knowing more about the retreats or the detox in a box or whatever it is, if you can't sort of work out where to find that information, and we will get back to you and help you with that. All good. All right. Thanks, everyone. So have a lovely night. Hope you all have a really good rest and don't wake up at 3 a.m. And if you need a hand with anything, just reach out to me. And hi, Alison, I can see you there. So thanks, everyone, for being here. And I saw Vivian and on here as well. So I've seen a few of my clients on here tonight, and Heather's there as well. Oh, there's Vivian. Yep. Hi, Janine. I think, Janine, I think you're on one of the other night as well. Hang on, I'll see. See if she can you ask to unmute? Oh, there we are.
Yeah. I've done all 3 and found them absolutely amazing. So thank you very much.
Oh, that's so lovely. I'm glad that I've been able to help and hopefully give you some inspiration. And so you can, with the we'll be sending out the email with all the recordings, and if you want to share those around with anyone, you know, feel free as well. Janine, have you received any emails from us yet?
Yes, 2 of them so far.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know, because we sort of like, you send them out, things, anyone even receive those? So
yeah.
that's great. Okay, well, thanks everyone. Have a lovely evening, and I'm here if you need me. And next year I will be back on doing all of this again for Natural Medicine Week as well. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Rebecca. Bye.
Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. Bye, Vivian. Bye.